On this edition of Lexington Now, ground is broken on a new recreational opportunity, Parks and Rec spring programming, and Jake's Garden. I'm Neil Noah and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of March 29th, 2021. Ground was broken this past week on a new playground at the Charles Young Center. We joined Mayor Gorton and others for the ceremony.
Welcome to the historic East End. Well, this is truly an exciting day here in Charles Young Park. We are about to build a new playground and it will be ready for action this summer. Children of all abilities will be able to enjoy this playground. It will have equipment designed for children ages 2 through 5, that's one part of it, and ages 6 through 12. The playground will feature a ground slide, swings, climbers, and 2 motion pieces, an accessible merry-go-round, and Lexington's first spinning climber. I've had it described to me, but I'm not exactly sure how it works yet. But there will also be plenty of shade and seating for weary parents. I think one of the most exciting things about this playground is that it will be accessible by trail to so many East End neighbors. The Town Branch Commons Trail will run right along Midland, right along there. Work started on that section this week. It's part of the downtown trail loop that travels through or near East End neighborhoods. The historic East End neighborhood is important to our city. We are committed to reinvestments that benefit the residents and families in this community.
This groundbreaking this morning is just another example of the city's continued commitment to investing in this neighborhood and in this community. About 2 years ago, it was myself, board chair Charlie Fields, and Chris Cooperrider, and Mr. Fields took us down to the playground and said, look, this playground is in good shape, but it's outdated. It's unsafe. We just need in this community a playground that we can be proud of, one that our children can play on and be safe. And we just need the city to commit to doing this project. And a couple of years ago, we found the funding and made that commitment and made that promise to this neighborhood. So with every successful community project, if you start off with an investment, you start off with listening and being responsible and working to build trust, you'll have success. And today, that's what I think this groundbreaking is a symbol of. So thank you all from the neighborhood that's come out today. Thank you all from leaderships and positions in the community for being here today. And thank you all for your investment in your time in this neighborhood and this community.
This morning is very important because the old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes the conditions to help that child grow. And socially and structurally, this child from the neighborhood and this community will benefit from the improvements that are being made here starting today. Brother Carl White, he made a point 10 years ago to tell me that we needed to do something about this park. So today I think it's good that we give him acknowledgement the fact that he did that. And he stayed on me consistently about that. He wasn't a board member, but he was an original task force member. And in doing that, he made me realize to stop and think how important it is to have something for our youth and our citizens to enjoy.
With over 100 parks in our community, we are always excited to see these continued enhancements in our parks. They improve our neighborhoods, they improve our community. Amidst a global pandemic, I think we all know that these open spaces and parks, our greenways, our sidewalks are more important than ever for folks to be able to connect and have some emotional normalcy come back to us. Jill Wilson heralded a group of about a dozen kids that are going to be influencing this playground as we move forward. So this is a first for Parks. Thanks, Jill, for getting that organized for us. It's going to be exciting, not only that they help design the playground, but they'll be here for our ribbon cutting and all the cool stuff that happens in between.
So thank you all so much. I want to thank the Charles Young Park Community Center, the board. Charles Young Park was named after an extraordinary man, Charles Young, who was born into slavery in Mayslick, Kentucky in 1864. He was accepted into West Point and ultimately became the first African American to achieve the rank of colonel in the United States Army. We have honored Charles Young by placing the Charles Young Center on the National Register of Historic Places, and today we are honoring him again. 1, 2, 3.
Parks and Rec is planning a fun-filled spring of events for the whole family. Jennifer Hubbard-Sanchez fills us in.
So COVID had, an impact on the way that Natural Areas was able to offer services to the public. Typically, people show up to spaces like Raven Run, places like McConnell Springs, and they're able to register for programs, not register for anything, and just kind of come through our spaces and hike for as long as they wanted to. But because we really had to keep numbers down and keep people safe, at first we had to completely close our parks for about a month. And we really kind of had to figure out how are we going to be able to open this back up to people, which led to a registration system. We weren't used to it, the public wasn't used to it, and so that was kind of something that we had to overcome as Natural Areas within parks, was being able to allow access to our spaces in a safe way, in a way that we weren't overrun, that there weren't too many people in our parks, but that allowed people to get out and enjoy our green spaces as well. So hiking wise, open park space wise, we really had to start limiting numbers. And program speaking, we do have a lot of, typically we have hundreds of programs offered throughout the year. We had to cancel all of our in-person programming, and those are just once again starting now after about a year of having very, very, very limited programming, except for virtual programs. Just this past weekend, we've started offering in-person programs once again. All programs within Natural Areas are registration only. So used to be people could just kind of show up and jump on a program that was being offered at a certain time in any of our natural areas. Right now, because of COVID, because of distancing requirements, numbers requirements, we have to limit all of our programs to 10 people or less, which means people do need to get on the government website and register. Most of our programs are free. Some of our programs, they do have a charge depending on, like we have a nature journaling program where people are going to receive materials. So to offset some of that cost, we are charging a nominal fee for some programming. People get online, they register for those, and when they come, everybody's got to wear a mask even if we're outside. We're limiting it to 10 people. Ideally, we're working with like household units or a couple of families that have been in each other's pod throughout this. And so we want to get people back into programming, but we've got to do it in a way that makes sense, keeps the public healthy as well as our staff. We have a lot of new programs. Again, we've kind of had to revisit how we do things. And so we've got different fishing programs, again, nature journaling. We've got a make your own walking stick program here at McConnell Springs. There are a lot of new program offerings that we've kind of had to rethink how we engage the public and in what ways and with what program themes. And so there are multiple new offerings as well. A lot of people really love to come out to night walks at McConnell Springs. We do have some kind of updated, so they're similar to the old offerings, but some updated night rangers programs where people can come out to McConnell Springs and look for different critters at night and learn about what's happening at night. At Raven Run, we have wildflower walks. Raven Run has just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stand. They're called Blue-Eyed Marys. It's actually the largest stand in the state of Kentucky in our forest, and it's just like a blanket of blue and white flowers that kind of takes over acres and acres. So that's something that people just are so excited for, is to come and see the Blue-Eyed Marys here in the next couple of weeks. And so we have scheduled multiple sessions of our wildflower walks so that we can accommodate more people. So some of our programs really are for an older audience or for like families, caregivers with a small child. For example, we have an intro to fishing program. We're not just doing like a here, drop your child off to learn how to fish. We really do need adults to be there to help, small children. I mean, if you're 5, 6 years old and you want to learn to fish, we want to teach you, but we do need somebody there with you to help you through that. For the most part, however, all of our programs are family friendly for youth through adult audiences. As far as content, there are some that small kids may just kind of be like, no, I'm not really interested in learning about the history of a Lexington park, but there are adults that kind of live for that stuff. So kids are welcome on all our programs, and we certainly encourage families to come out and engage in them, but some of those things may not be as exciting for a younger audience. So registration for programs is available now. If somebody goes on to the lexingtonky.gov website and they look up Parks and Recreation, there's a rec track registration system. When people go to that, they'll be able to find it's a nature program tab, and underneath it it's got adventure programs, McConnell Springs, Raven Run, equine programs. All of those programs have been posted on there, and they are open currently for registration for programs that happened last weekend through the month of May at this point. So we are really, really excited that we're back to programming, that we can actually engage with the public again in person in a very safe way. We hope that people will go to the website and learn about the programs that we've got open, register for a program, call the nature centers for more information. We really hope to see everybody at our park soon.
Jake's Garden after this.
I wear a mask so I can safely fly out of Lexington Airport to go see my grandson.
Because I like grocery shopping and going out shopping with my daughters.
So I can feel safe when I go shopping or go to the grocery.
In memory of my husband, Bill McCann, who was a community leader, and he would have supported this cause.
Help me and wear yours too.
Help me and wear a mask too.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. A garden has been opened in memory of late Councilmember Jake Gibbs. Our cameras were there for the official opening.
Welcome to the grand opening of this space we call Jake's Garden. In case we have an out-of-towner here, the answer to the question, who's Jake, could take a lot of time. Jake was a good man. Jake was our council member of this 3rd district, and Jake was a good buddy of Sav. When Anita, Jake's wife, asked Sav once upon a time, "What do you miss most about home?" Sav is from Guinea, West Africa, where we met when I was a Peace Corps volunteer there. Sav's answer to the question, "What do you miss most?" was hanging out. There's a lot of hanging out going on in Africa, I can attest. Sav and I decided increasing the ability to hang out in these times would have to be an outdoor covered area. Sav asked our architect neighbor, Marty. Marty's here somewhere. Hey, Marty. Yeah. And Brian, Marty's partner in crime. Could you guys draw me up a little arbor? I said, "Hun, you're talking to architects." They drew it up real good. We wanted to have an unveiling of the arbor, but we couldn't build it behind a veil. Y'all have been watching it go up, I think. So voila, plus some studio architects' superior work. Very early in the project, Sav said he wants to make a garden space. And he wants that garden space to be in memory of Jake. So that was because Jake was all about trees, Jake was into flowers, and Jake liked to hang out at Sav's. Okay, everybody's gonna say voila when I say 1, 3, 2, 1.
There's a Buddhist saying that tells us that life is 10,000 sorrows and 10,000 joys. And of course, one of the sorrows tonight is that Jake isn't here with us in his physical form. And one of the joys is that Savane and Rachel have created this incredible garden with the support of literally hundreds of people to make this possible. And that is a joy.
It feels so good to come together in person and celebrate this beautiful garden. You know, for months now, I've walked by watching everything come together and chatting with Rachel and Sav about their plans. And now that vision is a reality, and we can come together in a place that's all about good food, art, remembrance, and fellowship.
I'm glad that we choose Lexington because this is home for me now. That's when sometimes people ask me, where are you from with my accent? Usually I told them I'm from Paco. That's my hometown. That's just a joke. I just want to, I want to thank everyone, everybody from far, the people who donated GoFundMe for this garden, and my friend and neighbor, Brian and Marty Summers, who for almost a year now come out with this incredible design for our community on Main Street. This is so crazy. I just love everything about this space, and I honestly thank you all very much for coming, and I hope from now on you're all gonna be coming. If you feel like you're missing Jake, we got something for him here. He got his name here, Jake's Garden at Sav, and he got a little portrait inside. This is great. This is how I grew up. It's all about community and creating something here for us. This is for all of us. So thank you.
As we wrap up Severe Storms Preparedness Month, we want to give you one last look at how to get an emergency plan in place. Here's John Bobel.
What we want people to be aware of is that they need to have an emergency plan. Know what they're going to do in case there's severe weather. That includes identifying the place in your home or apartment where you can go to be safe. Ideally, the quickest way is a basement. If you don't have a basement, you want to identify an interior room. That could be a bathroom or even under a stairway. You want to put as many walls in between yourself and the outside. You want to make sure you have a battery-operated radio with you so you can tune in and find out the latest information. And make sure your plan includes having a working NOAA weather radio that's programmed to the local station right here in town. It can give you up-to-date weather information and forecasts. Even on those blue sunny days, it's a good idea to know what the weather is going to be like. It's also important to have an emergency kit, and every emergency kit is different. If you have a family, you need to make sure that you've got food, water, medicine, a first aid kit, and everything you need to be self-sufficient for at least 3 days. Some snacks, some books for the kids, change of clothes perhaps, all the things that you would need should you have to go without power. If you have to just stay hunkered down and be self-sufficient for that period of time. If you're single, you can probably pack everything you need in a backpack. Cell phones are important, and it's important to have a backup battery for a cell phone, a flashlight, and other essentials. Make a written list of phone numbers in case that cell phone goes out and you have to make a phone call from someplace else. If you have all the numbers in your phone, you need a reference point. So make sure you write down those important numbers. That's all part of what goes into emergency kit and emergency planning. You can get a lot more information about flooding, tornadoes, thunderstorms, lightning, and serious hazards here in Lexington by going to the website bereadylexington.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We try to have all the latest information right there so you know what to expect before it happens.
Urban County Council spring recess continues, so there are no meetings to tell you about this week. But when there are, we bring most of these meetings to you live. Check out our website for the most accurate and up-to-date coverage of city business. And we continue to keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site, including testing and vaccination sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.